Hello, welcome back to Fanbase with Make. Now, today is another great day. We are in day 11 since we stocked this bears Cup 500 from Zatek Hatchery. So, these bears have been doing so well, and I'm so happy about the result I am getting right now. Now, on this day, we've actually stopped anticoccidiosis medication. They are on plain water right now because, based on my medication chart, we'll be giving plain water after the 2 days of anticoccidia medication. We'll give plain water for like 1 or 2 days, and then before we move to the next form of medication, possibly we'll just give some multivitamins before giving the first dose of Gumboro vaccine. You can see the growth rate. They are really impressive. Hopefully by day 14, that is when they complete 2 weeks, we'll be taking the average weight at day 14 to see what we get, what we will get. Definitely, I know we are going to surpass the expected average weight. I know we are going to surpass it, hopefully. So I'll keep you updated and then share the update with you based on what we get on that day 14. Now we've removed you remember the smaller tube feeder that we used to give them feed when they were about 2 or 3 days old. So we've removed them. We've done away with those feeders. What the ones they are on right now is these bigger ones that they will be using to eat the dispose the best. Day 11. So we are gradually heading towards day 12. So this is very impressive, the result I am getting. You remember I said the this Cup 500 based on the different badges I have raised, the uniformity. I so much fell in love with the uniformity from some let me say some years back. So as expected, you always get the result. So this is unlike some other breed, and I'm so happy about this right now. Now these bears are still on starter feed because they've not gotten to when we'll be giving finisher feed. If you've been following how we've been raising our birds, because it's when they get to 4 weeks, that's when we'll switch to finisher feed. Remember, we'll be disposing these birds by day 35. That is towards Easter. That's when we'll be disposing these birds. Hopefully we should be able to achieve maximum weight by then. I know we are going to hit 2.9, 2.8, 3 kg, 3 point something kg by then. It's not surprising. Maybe if you are hearing this for the first time from me, you might be thinking, the 5 weeks old bird, can it weigh up to 3 kg? Yes, we've had that result with this same breed, this same strain of broiler. We've had that result in the past, that is among the shooters. So a very good number of them were giving us 2.8, 2.9. So we had that result, very impressive. So I'm so sure we'll still achieve the same result with this batch because we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. That is taking good care of them, managing the litters, the water, the feed, and all of that. We still keep to that. Now, the kind of feeding we employ, remember, I don't employ dump feeding. We feed them in bits. It's not that we just drop feed for them. Then towards evening again, that's when we come and give them feed again. No, we don't do that. So in about 3-4 hours, we come again, give them feed. The spraying of sawdust inside this feed, right? Inside this feeder has reduced drastically because no matter how they spray the sawdust, it won't get there. Though one thing I observe about these chicks, it is when they just when we just put the sawdust, that's when they normally spray it. But by the next day, the spraying will reduce drastically. Remember in the last video I posted, what we are going to be faced right now in about maybe by the time we are heading towards week 4 is that heat stress. So we should be prepared to handle them. So normally, as I always advise, if your pen can comfortably take about 200 or 250, just like my pen, during the sunny season like this, during during dry season, you try and reduce that number to like 150, maybe max 200, so that they will have more than enough space so that you have a very good ventilation. This is very important because if you are living in a cold region where heat is not of that it's not an issue, so definitely you can stock based on what your pen can actually carry. You should be able to have a very low mortality. Remember, washing of this bed drinker is very, very important. Now, another thing I also did, I did some level of expansion. That was like 2 days ago. But by tomorrow or before they hit 14 days old, that is 2 weeks, I'm going to expand it the more. And then with another form of partition, no longer this carton again, because I think this carton, they've served their purpose. So I need to replace them with another form of partition that I made myself. Now, I keep telling people raising of broilers is very, very easy. Now, you could imagine, especially if you've not raised this kind of broilers before, from day one, you'll be thinking those chicks that we stock about 11 days ago, how can you raise this birds till they now matured? It will be somehow strange to you. But if you follow our step-by-step guide, you'll see that they are very, very easy to take care of. Very, very easy to raise to maturity. So this is where we are today, day 11, gradually heading to day 12. Now, this is one of the reasons why I love broilers. I prefer broilers to layers. Though some other farmers, they tell you they prefer layers to broilers. Because after this batch now, I can decide to have some rest. Then rest after some time before coming to stock another batch again. But you can't do that to layers. Not until you dispose them, they finish laying. You won't rest. You keep taking care of them, daily management and all of that. About that one 18 months, about 1 year 6 months also before they now turn to old layers before disposing them. So each of them has its own advantage and disadvantages. But for me, though I started raising birds with layers, but I prefer broilers to layers. Now, another thing I want you to note, if you've been following this video from day one, I want you to always note something. With the medication we use, when we apply them, the number of days and all of that, you can see when you are done with this batch, when you are done with us, if you've been following us from day one, you will be able to create your own medication chart based on what I've been using, because I've been mentioning it. So day we are giving multivitamins, so day we are giving antibiotics, so day we are giving anticoccidiosis. So it will be we'll get to a time where I'll be giving anti CROD medication. So you'll be surprised at the end of it, or if you really follow the video from day one till disposal, you'll be able to draft your own medication chart from these videos. Because I try as much as possible to ensure that I keep posting video on a daily basis, sharing daily updates. But I'm so sorry, yesterday I couldn't record any video because I came back a bit late, so I was a bit tired, so I couldn't make any video for day 10. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully some other time I'm going to do it from day 1 till day 35. If you've been following this video from day 1, now maybe you want to start your small scale or your broiler production, and you don't really know the number of feeders or the different types of feeder you should use for your beds, that shouldn't be difficult for you to decide, because right now, you know, from day one we started with this tray feeder. Then by day 2 we introduced this flip top feeder, because like I said, they don't really pick much feed from this flip top feeder from day 1, so they started eating from it very well from day 2. So we introduced this. Then by day 3 also we introduced this other tube feeder that is also meant for chicks. So this is then by day 8, day 9 we introduced this other bigger one that we use to raise them till disposal. So these are the 3 or 4 forms of feeder that we can use to raise our birds from day 0 till disposal. Now, it's not that you can't really use this smaller tube feeder to raise your birds till disposal, but one very great disadvantage of this is that it's going to waste your feed, because it's smaller. As they grow, they may even match it and then turn the feeder over, thereby wasting your feed. So that is the purpose of replacing the feeder, and when the time comes, as at when due. Because this bigger one, they can't do that. Even they can, though some of them can step in now, though they will be uncomfortable there, before you know it, they will come out. They are eating from it greatly. So these are the form of feeders that you can use to raise your birds from day 1 till disposal. this four forms of feeder. But in case you don't have this tube feeder, you can make do with this thing like that they ate before switching to this type or that other type that I told you I made. So you'll be good. You'll be better off using any following this method in feeding your birds. The tray feeder, the flea top feeder, and the tube feeder. Those were the ones we've used before now. And when should we increase the number? Because as they grow, they need more space. So as they grow, like by before that day 14, I'm going to include like 2 or 3 of this other bigger feeder to this pen, so that they don't compete for resources, so that they don't struggle for resources. Is very, very important. The water, the feed, they don't have to compete. It's good they have more than enough rather than struggling for feed. So we don't raise birds that way. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all your effort for watching my video from day one till this moment. And if you find this video helpful, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like and comment in the comment section below, as this will do a whole lot for us in helping us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.